So I'm married for 5 years, but I'm not attracted to my wife.
That's your question. Are you in love with your wife? No, me either. What?
You said, when I look at her, I am totally disgusted by her. I think, this is really my wife?
One of the saddest things for women to realize is that men don't even love them. They also don't really love their children.
Sit here on my lunch break. I've came to the conclusion that today I'm going to ask my wife for a divorce.
Nobody talks about this out loud, but behind closed doors, a lot of men are silently miserable in their marriages. Not just bored, not just tired. I'm talking about real resentment, and in some cases, straight up hate. They feel ignored, disrespected, trapped in a house where love feels more like duty than desire. But here's the twist. Most of them won't say a word. They'll stay quiet, go to work, come home, and pretend everything's fine, until one day it all explodes. In today's video, we're digging into the dark side of marriage that almost nobody wants to admit, and asking the uncomfortable question, what's really driving men to hate their wives? And is there a way back?
Why are all of these men coming on the Dear Future Wifey podcast to tell the world essentially that their wife is not their preference?
I was open to more, but it wasn't my initial
original 10.
Yeah, see, I was in that time, even though God showed me her, I was still walking according to my preference. I liked light-skinned, long hair, petite models, all that crazy nonsense. I like what I want.
Yeah.
When a man says that the woman that he's with or his wife is not his preference, all that means is that you're a consolation prize because I couldn't get the prize that I really wanted, so I ended up with you. And it really just be going over their heads because every time they just be sitting there nodding like, no ma'am, this is a jab. This is not a compliment. And for the men, I really feel like they think they're giving their wife a compliment by saying like, hey, I couldn't get her, so you got me. That's not a compliment.
One of the saddest things for women to realize is that men don't even love them. They also don't really love their children. I have now seen a lot of women getting divorced and thinking that since their husband is supposed to love their kids, that he's going to be very nice and amicable and make the divorce as trauma-free for the children as possible out of love for his children, because the mom thinks that I am going to make it as trauma-free for the children because I am an adult, and so obviously he would do the same thing even if we can't get along. And time again, in my own life and in stories, I see women being shocked that their partner does all of these traumatizing things that is going to hurt them and the kids, and will even sometimes choose to hurt the kids just to hurt their partner. And I think it's a hard pill to swallow of just how hated so many women are in America. And so that's why in this next Trump presidency, let's either not date men or, let's just not date them, because it's a hard pill to swallow and it's just tragic. And I'm tired of men abusing their children, their women, and just living on with their little lives.
I just watched a montage of men saying that they don't love their wives. They don't think that they ever loved their wives. They're not attracted to their wives anymore. Their wives' bodies changed. So women, when you hear men talk like that, it means he used all of her resources, her time, her love, and her energy. He took all of that, and now he sees no value in her. Love. Okay? I want you to really understand what men think of love. I used all her resources, so now I don't love her anymore. Okay, understand that's what they're saying.
That's your question. Are you in love with your wife? No, me either. What? I don't believe in that shit anyway. It's okay. It's overrated. No, listen. Then why? Listen, okay. See?
You gotta explain that shit to me now.
I want to know.
I had a feeling. No, I'm not in love with my wife.
Why?
I don't even know her. All my relationship with my wife is a relationship with myself. I'm just discovering parts of me, bro. We're lying to ourselves so fucking much to hold up this story or this ideal, the fantasy, without, as opposed to just really fucking dealing with what's there and accepting it to the best of your ability.
I understand this. Now, how do you get women to understand that?
Yeah.
Right?
But-
You get them to bow out of the fantasy.
You get them by you bowing out.
If my wife thinks she's in love with me, probably. If someone asks her, she'd say yeah.
It's a buzzword. It's a concept that's been propagated, like in love, that we've adopted and creates an unrealistic expectation that we look for, and when it's not present, we feel something is wrong.
So I'm married for 5 years, but I'm not attracted to my wife. I think she's ugly to me. But I decided to still give her a chance because she makes more money than me. And so, I felt like she was useful. She was useful, so I give her a chance. But I'm still not attracted to her. But recently I met this girl where I work at. She's a nurse, and that's really who I want. But I don't want to break my wife's heart. You know what I'm saying? But what advice do you guys have for me? Because it's been tough out here. I mean, she a good one. It just.
Oh, some of you ain't know, I've been married for the past 5 years, and I'll be honest, I was not attracted to my wife when I first met her. She was not my speed. She's like the complete opposite of who I normally go after, but I just decided to give her a chance. Like I said, once again, she was not my type. She was not that attractive to me, but there was just something about her. I met her. We talked for a couple days. We hung out. She seemed very supportive, so I'm like, why not? I mean, you're not my type, but I'm going to give you a chance because I normally go for this type. And then after a while, she just grew on me. Her looks grew on me in about the 48, 72 hour mark, in the sense of, I think I can do this. What I'm trying to get at is, just because you're not attracted to someone does not mean you don't give them a chance. Now, some of you are infuriated with me right now talking about, why do I need to embarrass my wife like that? Why do I need to talk about her looks when I can just talk about the positives and not embarrass her on the internet? So why are you mad at me trying to hold me accountable for the words that I'm saying, but you not in her comment section talking about, girl, you didn't need to embarrass that man on the internet like that? Okay.
Sit here on my lunch break. I've came to the conclusion that today I'm going to ask my wife for a divorce. I've been married to my wife for 5 years. She's taking care of most of the household bills, household duties. She's helped me a lot in a lot of ways, but I just feel like we've outgrown each other. I feel like how we should have been is not how we were in the beginning. I feel like she just doesn't pay attention to my feelings. She just doesn't understand me as a man. And it's such a sad thing because we got 2 beautiful kids, and it's just like, I've had this thought in my head for like the past 6 months, and I've left mentally, but now it's just time to do it physically. And I think today is going to be the day that I ask my wife for a divorce. So if you guys don't see me on here for a while, just wish me luck. Hopefully everything goes well. Yeah.
Bro, I've been sitting in this car for about 2 hours now because I refuse to go inside and be with my wife. Like, I hate her that much. The only reason why I'm with her is because I'm broke and I don't have nowhere else to go. Like, I can't afford the rent on my own, and she makes more money than me. So, I mean, if I was to get a good job tomorrow, I'd be gone just like that. With a woman I really want. But I can't afford the woman I want, so I gotta settle for her. Literally. If we're being honest, I think I'm doing her a favor. Because she got low self-esteem anyway, and she bad built, so she should be lucky that I'm with her, if that makes sense. So I don't feel guilty about it, but I mean, you know, some gotta give, because I can't keep doing this. Like, I could be with somebody I really want, but I refuse to do more, you know? I'm kind of comfortable with being nothing.
Counseling, I want to help other people also. So the question that was submitted during counseling was, why did you marry your ex-wife? What qualities did she have that made you wanted to go to the next level with her? And my answer was, number one, I thought she was real beautiful. Number two, she was cool. I believe she's a good person. Have a good upbringing. She has a career. And I feel like she wanted more out of life, right? But to be honest, I was not in love with her, right? But as time went on, I started to love her. But in love, it never happened. She was a friend for 11 years. And we ended up getting married. And I thought that as time went on, we would grow to fall in love with each other. But it never happened. Too many distractions, too many ups and downs, setbacks, me cheating, lying, and just sabotaging the marriage and relationship. I actually was not in love, but I married her anyway. And it was rocky. So I ask you guys to pray and ask God to show you before you try to invest in something that can cause a lot of trauma down the line. Hey, you guys be blessed.
So what made you keep coming back to her? She's not your preference. She lived down the street. Convenience? Very much. I live 30. All my other girlfriends live 30 minutes away. I was used to, heavier chest meat, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And smaller in the other areas. Yeah.
So this guy is saying that his wife wasn't his physical type. He even goes on to say that it was because she didn't have big boobs and like skinny in the other areas. Men that will talk like this to their wife or their girlfriend are an absolute joke. They really think that there's some ladies' man, some prize. He's sitting there talking about how he had all these other girlfriends. I'm telling you, a man like this thinks he's something that he is not. He's just a middle-aged, below average man. And he's still telling these stories. He still thinks it makes him look so cool, like he was such a ladies' man. All these clips do is make me actually pity his wife. I think it's so embarrassing and so sad that all these years later, he's still talking about how she wasn't his physical type. He adjusted to the fact that she wasn't skinny with big boobs. How unattractive. Why would you let someone talk to you like that? She settled. In that kind of relationship, she settled for him. That is not how a man that values you is going to speak about you. Just remember, if a man isn't treating you well, there's always one out there that will treat you better.
Hey babe, so what's going on that these work husbands are going to work and expressing how much they hate their wives? And the reason why I ask this is because me personally, when I used to work at a collection agency a couple years ago, me and pretty much everybody on my team, which majority of them were men, and even the big bosses would go to the back and have lunch together, kind of chill, talk and stuff like that, right? And there was multiple times that the conversation of marriage would come up because I was single and the youngest one there at the time. And babe, when I'm telling you, they would all go on rants as to how much they cannot stand their wives, how much they just can't wait until their kids get to the age that they could leave their wives and not go through child support, like how sick they make them, how lazy they are, all of them. And I remember it was a time that I was like, so out of all y'all sitting at these two tables, none of y'all had nothing good to say about y'all wife? Silence. None of them had nothing good to say about their wives outside of their kids. I mean, like, most of them would be like, well, I mean, she gave me great kids. I love my kids. And that's it. And then more recently, I was back in Florida visiting a friend, and we went to a little bar, and we started kicking up casual conversation with these other 3 dudes. Babe, they were married. And when they asked me, was I married? I said no. They said, man, don't do it, man. I can't stand my wife. She's annoying. The exact same thing that all those men were saying at that table all those years ago was the exact same thing those men were saying this past weekend. What is going on? It's getting crazy out here.
I didn't love my wife when we got married. I loved the idea of a wife, and it's embarrassing to admit that. I married her for what she could bring to me, how she could improve my life.
I don't love my wife no more. Whatever feelings I had inside for her, they're dead, and they died a long time ago.
At some point, I think it's necessary for us to see this for what it truly is, and that is a humiliation ritual. Some men have a humiliation kink, humiliation fetish. They love embarrassing you, publicly and privately. These days, there are so many men out there who are so afraid of being labeled a simp or a sucker for loving a woman that they just want to make it clear, I didn't even love her at first, or I don't even love her now. All for the approval and the acceptance of other men. They think it makes them look like some kind of tough guy, that they're with a wife that they can tell everybody they don't even love. This man goes on to say in the beginning of the marriage he was selfish, he put his own wants and needs above hers, and my whole thing is he's still selfish, because you're still doing that. You're still monetizing off of her trauma, and you're still publicly embarrassing her. Do you think it fills her with pride for her to hear her man talk about how he didn't love her at first? He didn't care then, and I don't think he cares now. Any man who's willing to humiliate and embarrass you for the approval and the acceptance of other men is not worth having.
The worst type of man you can marry is the man who could not get his type. I was just watching something on YouTube where a man was like, I love my wife, but she's not fine, right? So then the wife was sitting there, and I'm pretty sure y'all probably seen this clip too. The wife was like, what? I'm not fine. And he was like, you're cute. You're cute. He's like, you all right, but you're not fine. That's his exact words. Basically saying to her, in other words, you are what I could get. You are what I can afford. But given the chance to not be able to have you, given the chance to be able to afford what I want, that's who I'm going for. This is why I say men have no problem with being used for money as long as they get what they want. As long as they have access to the type of women they want. Do not let men shame you out of wanting things. It's a reason why a 24-year-old is able to swindle a 75-year-old man out of all his houses, and he has no problem with it. Men have no problem with paying for the women they want. Men, this is going to be a lot of men in the future. Men who think that they turn 30 and the women fall into their lap. And when they realize it's not happening, they're going to start doing the reach back. Men always got a girl in their back pocket, right? But they're going to start looking around like, all right, I'm still here. I'm 34. My type answering the phone, okay. Then about 36, they're going to say, you know what? Sheila's still fucking sitting here. Sheila's the one who want me. Let me go ahead and marry Sheila. But one thing about Miss Sheila, she going 50-50. She's having his kids. She's raising his kids.
Young lady got on this app and said that 5 days after delivering her daughter, her husband began to pressure her to have schmecks. Not only did he pressure her to have schmecks, he threatened to cheat on her.
If you pressure your wife to have smacks after 5 days, if you pressure her at all before she's ready, you don't love your wife. You hate your wife. Nah, that's too far. No, you hate your wife. You hate her. If you could watch her push out a baby or get cut open for a baby to come out of her, and you pressure her, you hate your wife. If you try to coerce her and give her little tips and clues that you're going to step out of the marriage because she's not fulfilling her role, you hate your wife. You don't have no love in you. You've now become an animal. We're talking about 5 days here. 5 days. We're talking about before the 6 weeks. And if your lady is healed up enough, because some women, They feel they're healed up enough before the 6 weeks and they start and everything is fine. But she's the one who initiates. If you are one that pressures your wife to have sex before she's ready, after she has given birth, you hate your wife.
I wasn't attracted to the face. We're in the city of Atlanta, and I just feel like there's so many beautiful, you know what I'm saying, black queens, white queens, Hispanic queens here. Out of all the millions of women here, y'all picked the one that was just like...
So in every other area, she was qualified. It's just that you didn't like her face.
Yes, sir.
And this is why I truly believe that a woman could have whatever standards that she wants to have. I don't care if you're like, he has to make a certain amount of money. He has to be this tall. He has to have no kids, never married. Whatever standards that you have for your man, it's perfectly fine. Because this man just finished saying that this woman is 99.9% of what he wants. Spiritually, emotionally, she is his qualified match. He just doesn't like her face. So if a man can disqualify a woman who is the majority of what he wants, why can't women do the same? Some men are always expecting women to be flexible with your standards when they don't meet them, but they'll never be flexible when you don't meet theirs. I heard a saying once that goes, give a man 10 women and he'll keep looking. Give a woman 10 men and she'll choose. See, men don't have a problem with overlooking good enough in search of perfection. But women, sometimes you'll let these men talk you into settling for less. You'll let them make you feel like, well, you know, he's a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. So ladies, I want you to understand this. You don't owe it to anyone to settle for less than what you want or less than you deserve. Because I promise you, men don't.
Men hate their wives. So I was just talking to this guy. He's been a caller for a long time. And he loves to fantasize about men violating his wife and stepdaughter. And today, he kind of took it a step further and was like, talking about how he might meet men online who would agree to break in his house and do this. And it kind of reminded me of that woman in France whose husband was like drugging her and had those men violating her. And yeah, I don't know if he's going to do it or not. I asked him, like, is this just fantasy right now? Or are you really thinking about doing this? And he just got quiet. So
one thing a lot of men gonna do is embarrass their wife. So let me get this straight, bro. You broke. She make more money than you, but she has quote unquote low self-esteem, and the only reason you with her is because you can't afford to get the woman that you want. Bro, do that woman a favor and leave. Do that woman a favor and leave. First of all, why do some of y'all get online? You getting online to diss your own woman? I don't understand. Some of y'all don't even think about what you do before you do it. Leave that woman because you don't like that woman at all, and you don't respect that woman to even get online and tell us that you hate her. What is wrong with you, bro? And she taking care of you, making more money than you, and then you think you doing her a favor in what, the looks category? Boy, please stop.
There's so much talk about women being too independent these days, and this is why. Because if a woman can't sit in the passenger seat and trust that her partner will keep the car running both literally and figuratively, then how could she ever feel comfortable being dependent on that man for anything else? And I'm sure that a lot of you have already seen this video, but I want to talk about it because I want you to beware of men who want to teach you a lesson more than they want to make you feel safe. This is such a simple thing, and I'm sure he would have had no problem reminding his friend that he was low on gas, so you have to wonder why he was so eager to punish his wife. There's a lot of different things that you do for one another when you're in a relationship, and just because something isn't your individual job doesn't mean that it's not still your collective responsibility together. So it may not be your job to put gas in her car, but it's still your responsibility to check that there's gas in the tank when you start driving to go somewhere. And this is practiced every day. For example, most people don't only wash their dish after they eat dinner because whoever's washing the dishes will wash all the dishes so that there's no dirty dishes left in the sink. He said that it's not his responsibility to get gas because it isn't his car. But would you feel the same way if she said that she wasn't going to do your laundry because they're not her clothes? You have a responsibility to your life together. And the relationship might as well be over when you start arguing over whose job it is instead of just doing what you have to do when you see that it needs to be done. I bet he would have told her to stop acting like his mother and even accused her of backseat driving if she had been constantly looking over his shoulder to remind him about the gaslight. So when you think about it, doesn't it seem a little ironic that he's only giving her a hard time because she trusted him? We talk about women being exhausted, but we don't talk about any of the complex reasons why. And this is why. Because if you're not taking care of the household with her, then she's just taking care of the household and you. And you're not being an equal partner if you're not acting like a fellow adult. Men wonder why women seem so angry or resentful, but how can they not? You never get the chance to relax if you can't rely on your partner to handle everything while you do. And it creates a pattern of fear and uncertainty if you can't trust someone to remember something if you happen to forget. She asked if it was her responsibility to remember to go get gas the night before, and sure, in a perfect world, we would all have a full tank of gas at all times and we never run out of toilet paper. But life doesn't always go that smoothly. So maybe she ran out of time in between everything else she has to do in a day, or maybe she just forgot. But either way, you should be allowed to be human if your partner truly has your back. And that's the point here. Life is hard, so the people who say they love you aren't supposed to make it harder. So listen, you obviously took her car for a reason. Maybe it was closer to the door, maybe it's more comfortable, or maybe it gets better gas mileage. But regardless of the reason, you have no business taking someone else's car if you don't intend to take responsibility for it. And that's not all. You also have no business claiming to be the head of a household that you don't participate in, and you have no business getting married if you don't intend to act like a husband. So congratulations to this guy. I know he really wanted to make a point, but the only point he ended up making was that his wife can't depend on him.
What is it and grown people hating the people they married? Grown people tell you all the time, do not get married. It was the worst decision of my life. I was on a coach journey yesterday, and you know, you don't want anyone sitting next to you on a coach. 10 minutes into the journey, a man comes, white man, in his 60s with his backpack saying, can I please sit here? He was like, number one, you're a very attractive lady, and number two, I just need more leg room. I was like, oh, okay, found the comment a little bit weird, but kind of rushed past it. The entire interaction, his wife is on the coach, by the way. He told me his wife is on the coach. I said, oh, do you want to sit next to her? Like, I can move. Guys, because I just don't want to sit next to him because I don't want to talk. Like, guys, one thing about me, yeah, I don't like small talk. I really don't like small talk, guys. It's not my favourite thing to do, especially for 2 hours and a half. Are you joking, guys? He told me he's cheating on his wife with a Nigerian woman, and he was asking me where I'm from, and I said, I'm Nigerian. He was showing me their text messages. Guys, this woman is rinsing him. Babe, can you please send me 250k naira? That's how much my food shop is today. Food shopping here is so expensive. Bitch, no, it ain't. Food shop would never be 250k naira for one day. Like, what is my business partner? And she's gonna rinse a white man in Britain. Fine, go ahead. He's cheating on his wife anyway. Like, then he tells me he's booked flights, guys. He has booked flights to go and see her in September. And I said to him, have you told your wife? Does your wife know? He said, no, she doesn't know yet, but I'm going to tell her, and I'm getting a divorce. I was like, you're getting a divorce? He said, yeah, I'm getting a divorce and I'm going to marry Elizabeth, which is the woman he's freaking messaging. I don't care to say her name. Guys, I am scared for this man's safety. Like, he's about to go to Nigeria as a white British man, going to meet a girl he's never met in his entire life, but he's having FaceTime calls of. And he's like to me, oh my God, she's never going to believe that I met such a beautiful girl like yourself on this coach, a beautiful African lady. And he's like, can I take a picture of you so I can show her later because she's not going to believe it? And I was thinking, guys, I'm so sorry, yeah, to be vulgar. I'm so sorry to be vulgar, but the first thing that came to my mind is, this man's going to take a picture of me and he's going to freaking bash to it. Like, that's literally the first thing that thought in my mind. And you cannot put it past people for you guys to say I'm reaching. You cannot. He was like proper flirting with me. Mind you, I've already told him I had a boyfriend this entire interaction. Like, even if I didn't have a boyfriend, I would have told him I had a boyfriend, right? I had two of my bags and they're both on my lap, guys, because I do not like putting my bags on the floor of coach, train, anything. I just find it disgusting, guys. I'm kind of like a germaphobe, right? And he's like to me, oh, you should put your bag on the floor. Guys, mind you, I'm wearing shorts, okay? So my legs are out. And I knew he wanted to sit on my legs. I said, no, it's fine. Like, I want to keep on my lap. So you should put on the floor, cool. I put one of my bags on the floor. I left the other one there to keep him happy so he can leave me alone. And he's like, and he said it again later, you should put your bag on the floor. Why? Why do you care where my bag is? And if I'm uncomfortable, I'm very comfortable. And he's like, my wife's not going to be pleased with me that I sat next to a beautiful African lady like yourself. He kept like saying I'm African. Like, okay, we get it. Like,
bro, I've been sitting in this car for about 2 hours now because I refuse to go inside and be with my wife. Like, I hate her that much. The only reason why I'm with her is because I'm broke and I don't have nowhere else to go. Like, I can't afford to rent on my own, and she makes more money than me. So, I'll just get a good job tomorrow. I'll be gone just like that with a woman I really want. But I can't afford the woman I want, so I gotta settle for her.
A lot of them are only with you because they can't afford the woman that they really want, right? Either they can't afford her financially, they can't afford her physically, they know what they look like, they can't afford her mentally, they know what their level of intellect is like.
Being honest, I think I'm doing her a favor because she got low self-esteem anyway, and she bad built, so she should be lucky that I'm with her.
I'll be motherfucking damned if a man tells me that the only reason I'm with him is because I don't love myself. Bitch.
So I don't feel guilty about it, but I mean, you know, some gotta give because I can't keep doing this. Like I can be with somebody I really want, but I refuse to do more, you know? I'm kind of comfortable with being nothing.
So I seen this video this morning, and it was like at like 4,000 views, and a gang of people have liked this video. And I knew it would be viral, but like, y'all liked the video. And here's the thing. I really firmly believe that this is how majority, I'm not going to say majority, but a good, strong percentage of men feel about their wives. That's another reason why I believe that women need to stop prioritizing marriage like that as an identifier of value and worth. Because a lot of the men that you're married to don't even like you like that. And you probably don't even like them. Because guess what? When y'all don't like each other, you treat each other like you don't like each other. So nonetheless, I see that this is going viral and it's sickening. But again, this is the truth about how a lot of men feel. And this is why women should be a little bit more vigilant as far as who they choose to give access to and who they choose to build with. Because a lot of these niggas are looking for respite, okay? They are looking for support, shelter. Excuse me. Don't come up here hollering and carrying on. And some of these niggas are looking for shelter, okay? They're looking for support. They are looking for someone to do the things that they don't want to do for themselves. And you get a ring for it. Let's be real, please. Here's the other component of this. When a man feels this way about you, he is going to treat you as such. He's going to treat you like shit, baby girl. You're not going to like that experience at all. And so, damn, he's broke and he's going to treat you like shit. What's going on here? The math doesn't math. You see why they say I can do all bad by myself? This is it. Clock that T.
I was in some kind of situation with another girl that I actually liked, but it was some, like, we was hitting some barriers, right? I mean, you know the story. We was hitting some barriers, and I was just like, this ain't where it at. Like, you know, there were some red flags, I said like that. And so...
And that was the green. I'm just playing.
My worst fear is falling in love and finding out the hard way my husband thinks this way. And this is referring to a video where a man has made a comment about his wife as the maid, the one who cooks, cleans, and, you know, takes care of the home. And she also is not deserving of any marital asset. She gets booted out. Same. Girl, same. And there's other responses or replies under this comment saying the same reason that I say same, because it already happened. How many women have gotten into relationships and years later, having gotten into a marriage years later, have gotten way into that love bond to only then find out, whether it's poof overnight or slowly, that this man does not see you as an equal human being. This man doesn't like you. This man doesn't love you. This man is looking to receive services from you. And as long as the services keep coming, he'll be kind of nice to you. And if one of the services does not meet his satisfaction, forget it. It is absolutely my worst fear too. And it is so much of a fear that I've decided to just tap out of dating, because I find that so many men out there, no matter what kind of man you find out there, and I've heard it said, like, get yourself an engineer. They're nerdy, but they're nice and they're good and they're loyal. Guess what? They're not. I've dated engineers that are the most pedantic, self-centered assholes. It's not all men, but it feels like all men. And because it feels like all men, women are going to just assume it's all men and say, you know what, I'm good with my Netflix cats and wine.
I was just married a month ago, alhamdulillah. Oh my God, I hope this never happens to anyone. I was living in a different country, albeit not too far away. So we met in person maybe 10 to 15 times before the wedding. Most of the times things were great. We would always talk on the phone for hours and hours. I mean, like 6 to 8 hours a day or more sometimes.
Also, you got to know each other.
I'm not proud of it, but that's the truth, and I felt so connected to her, and we had so much to talk about. We've now been married just a month, and I feel disconnected.
Oh, stop.
Honestly, I feel terrible because she hasn't changed, but I feel like I have.
In a month?
I genuinely just don't have love for her.
No, you hate her from the beginning. I can't deal.
No, we don't know that for sure. Sounds like they were clicking.
In a month, Colton, what can change? Unless you gave him the ick.
I don't necessarily want to be physically intimate. Also, we just found out she might have vaginismus, which is why we haven't been able to consummate the marriage. And I feel like I'm cold to her
that's sad.
sometimes.
I feel bad now.
I swear I can't control it. I'm just not interested in her anymore. I have no idea why the switch flipped like this. Before marriage, I was so excited. Everything we'd been able to do together, places we'd go together, etc. Now that I'm married, I don't really care, as bad as that is to say.
There is a story going so viral right now because of this man called into a show. The show has millions of followers, streams on every social media platform with sheer audacity. Complete delusion in his situation, right? This man starts talking like an absolute victim. He talks about how he left his wife, blindsided her. He used the word blindsided, of 7 years to move in with a coworker that he was messing around with. He and the coworker move in together after, I don't know, messing around for a couple of months, which is crazy in itself, but, you know, stay with me. She has a baby by somebody else, right? She's still involved with the baby dad. He's describing the baby dad like a devoted father, really great guy. As a family, she and the baby daddy aren't together, I guess, and they're celebrating holidays separate, like twice with the kids. I don't know. But she's like really upset about it. Baby daddy moves into the house. So now it's him, his coworker girlfriend, and her baby daddy living all under the same roof. Then one day she just comes up to him and says, you know, it's just really awkward with all of us together, and me and the baby daddy are going to work it out, and I just can't do this anymore. So, you know, you go figure it out. You have to go. Here's what's crazy. The guy who left his wife and moved in with his coworker, he moves in with her, and he is doing the most to keep the relationship afloat. He agrees to have that other guy come in and move in with them, which is crazy. He is putting in all the effort to pursue this woman, look after the baby that's not his. He's doing everything to make this lady happy. And then he admits on the show that if he had put in that amount of effort into his marriage, then he wouldn't have been where he ended up. So he drives off into a rest area. He's darn near ready to, you know, unalive himself. Calls up his wife, his estranged wife, and says, you know, just look at my location on Google Maps. I'm just letting you know where I'm at. Here's what happened. You know, I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I just wanted you to know where I was. So she's concerned. She's upset. But he's calling into the show to ask for advice on how to get his wife back. After all that, after all that he's put her through, he wants to know how he can get her back. Now, the guy running the show, super professional, because I would have laughed the entire time. I would have been like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Is this the first time he told the story out loud? Because ain't no way. No. Couldn't be me, no. I don't have advice for you. You go to therapy. You go heal. Leave that lady alone. All right?
I just saw a podcast episode where there are 3 married men on the podcast, and one of them asked the other, are you in love with your wife? And the dude immediately said no. And then the one asking the question says he wasn't either, and they both laughing. This is why people are saying their podcast equipment needs to cost more. Because to get on and laugh about not being in love with your wife is diabolical. I believe what they're saying in this is that they are not necessarily in love, but they are committed to love. And I don't understand why you can't be in love and committed to love. I think I heard the one who did all the laughing and giggling at first said he had been married for 8 years. And let me be clear, the rivers would never flow again if I heard that. Because most of us understand that when people are talking about being in love, they think falling in love, right? It's this newness, it's this freshness. I'm getting to learn you and know you. But you can also still be in love. Even though you're not in the newness phase, like I just met you type phase, that still is a thing. You also can totally be committed to your partner and engage with them. Because to me, the in love part is the part that you work on every single day to maintain. It's the part of the intimacy and the vulnerability and the transparency and the partnership and the friendship. It's the laughing and giggling in the wee hours of the morning. It's the date night and the fixing each other plates. It's the excited when they come home from a long day, from stints where you haven't got to see each other. That's the in love part. So I don't understand when these men is laughing about not being in love with their spouses. May that love never find me in my marriage.
Hey, what's up? It's Ash. Somebody please help me settle this debate. Last night, my husband and I have to go pick up our daughter at the airport. It's a little over an hour away. We jump in my Jeep. He's driving, and he says, "Oh, you're going to need gas." Literally drives right past the gas station near our house, gets on the highway. So I'm thinking, all right, no big deal. We have plenty of time. We're going to pass many on the ride. So I'm sitting in the passenger seat. I'm texting her so we can time it. You know, she gets off her flight. She grabs her bag. She's out on the sidewalk, and we pick her up. We stop for a bite to eat on the ride home, and then we're like trekking down the highway, and I glance over at the dash and I see that the gas light's on. So I go, "Well, how long has the gas light been on for?" And he's like, "I don't know. This isn't my Jeep. I'm not paying attention to that." So I hit the little button and it just says low fuel. So I know that we have under 50 miles of gas and we have more than 50 miles to get home. So I'm like, "Well, how long's the gas light been on? Like, you're driving, you're staring at the dashboard." And he's literally like, "I don't know. This isn't my Jeep. It wasn't my responsibility for gas. I'm not paying attention." So I'm like, "Please get off at the next exit so we can get gas." We get gas, and then I was like, "What were you gonna do?" And he's like, "I was just gonna keep driving, and when we ran out of gas, you would have had to call AAA. I'm like, what? So am I wrong? Was I responsible in the passenger seat for watching for the gas light and instructing him to pull over for gas? Or was it my responsibility before we left for the airport to go get gas in my Jeep? Am I wrong?
This is your favorite prophet, the man with too much swag and too much anointing. You know, one of the biggest problems in this generation is most married men are no more in love with their wives. Most, quote me anywhere, most married men are in love with someone else outside. There is someone outside that they're in love with. Now, my question is, both to the male and to the female, if you know that your heart is outside, what stops you from breaking up with where you are and go and meet the person that your heart beats for? Instead of cheating in your marriage, making your partner miserable, messing up the emotions of your partner, making your partner feel that they are not good enough, because cheating kills. Cheating. If your partner is not good enough for you, why don't you break up from the partner and just go and meet whoever it is that you are satisfied with? It absolutely does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. Your heart is outside, but you are wearing the wedding ring of another person. Your heart is outside, but you are married to someone who you don't love. Man, my generation needs serious healing. To whom brain is given, sense is expected.
You said, when I look at her, I am totally disgusted by her. I think, this is really my wife? That's a statement of yours.
Yes.
What is your purpose?
She's just not the person that I married.
That wasn't what I asked you. I didn't ask you who she was or wasn't. I said, why did you say that? What was your purpose? What was your desired result when you said that? You said it to us, so
Right.
you want us to know what? You want us to understand what?
How I feel.
That
how I
you're,
feel about it.
but
That
she's
I'm-
just beneath you. She's beneath you. You're better than that, right? You said, this is really my wife? Because you're better than that, right? You should have a hotter wife. You should have a better looking wife.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you wanted us to know that.
I don't love my wife, and I resent that I have to care for her, but I probably will never leave her. Jeez Louise. Okay, here's the story. She was my high school sweetheart, the love of my life, my soulmate. When she suffered a brain injury and fell into a coma, I had no idea whether she would ever wake up again. When she did, she was severely disabled and she was a different person. I hoped her old personality would come back with time and therapy, but it's been 5 years since she woke up, and I think this is just what she's like now. She's not a bad person. She's just not the woman I fell in love with. I'm expected to be grateful that I got my wife back, but the truth is my wife died the day she was injured. I hope I would be able to fall in love with this new person, but you can't just force yourself to fall in love with someone. So I resent her. I know it isn't her fault. It's not fair that I feel this way towards her, but I resent this new woman for taking my wife away and for the fact that I have to take care of her. I can't leave her. She has no one else to care for her, and she still has my wife's voice, her laugh, her smile. I couldn't bear to lose those. They're all I have left of the woman I love. So I pretend. I pretend I don't notice that she's a completely new person. I pretend I still love her. I pretend I don't resent her. I care for her. I've accepted that this is my life now. Very sad.
Hey ladies, come here. Let's talk about something real quick. It's a spiritual thing, but so many of you guys ignore it. But it's a spiritual thing that's happening to your husband. Listen to me carefully. I'm not going to judge anybody. And TikTok might put this video down, but let's go ahead and start. Most of the time, the man you married, he married you for a reason. Not because he loves you, but he married you because of what society going to think of him. That's the reason why he married you. In your mind, sometimes you probably be like, oh my God, how come he chose me? No, he did not choose you for you to be that happy. He chose you because he didn't want to get judged by society. Because he was born to love men. He was born to be with a man. We're not gonna say the word. We're not gonna say the word. But your man was born to be with a man. The reason why, it's because since he was in his mom's stomach, he got chosen. That's why growing up, his sibling can tell you about the way he, the way he acts. He was never act like a man. But growing up, he see that being with a man as a man, people going to change him. I know nowadays so many people turn gay. I don't know, because of social media. But some people, they didn't turn gay. They were born like that. And the reason behind it is because they were chosen. And this happened because I forgot the name of that spirit that do that to people. But most of the time, it's because of your parents. Because sometimes your parents they started something with the devil and they choose to turn their life around and saying that, oh, now I'm a Christian, I serve God, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. It does not work like that. And this happened to females too. But we're not going to talk about females. Let's stay on this. Your husband was born to be with a man. And he married you because of what society going to say. Maybe sometimes the auntie, the uncle, But he's doing it secretly so people don't know about it. The reason why you as a wife find out, it's because so many females there. I see you guys. I think you guys are FBI, the way you guys do investigation in your husband. That's why you were able to find out about his affair. But in your mind, you thought that at the beginning, you thought that, okay, he's cheating with a female. But when you look deeper and you see that man is cheating with a, you're like, what is going on? But I know in some marriage, the guy paid the wife thousands of dollars to stay. I get it, I understand. But these people, don't get me wrong, I have no offense to gay people or lesbian. I love them all. You do you, I do me. I love you guys all. But it's a spiritual thing that's happening to some men. They were born like that. The devil chose them. The spirit chose them when they were inside that womb, before they were even born. And that's why you see that your husband is in love with a man and not you. But he married you for a reason. Okay? He gave you the money, and sometimes when you ask him for sex, he's like, oh no, I'm tired. Guy's never too tired for Gucci, you know that. But that's the reality, people. That spiritual thing, almost everything that we do is spiritual, and I will be talking about more. You need to still love your husband. It's not his fault. He was born like that.
If you've been married for 15 years and your husband decides he doesn't want to be married anymore, take your time, it's okay. How do you handle that?
15 years. Now he wants a divorce. There's no cheating. There's no infidelity. He just wants a divorce.
Kim, you might run over him, huh?
What you want to do?
Obviously, it's something going on.
Lady Kim might run over him on that one.
Yeah, he got to be cheated. Something is going on somewhere in their relationship. He's not in love anymore.
Not in love anymore.
In love. You're not attracted to the person sexually. It's something definitely going on. So you're not going to just ask for a person for a divorce and there's nothing there. So there's definitely something there. But I would say give it to him, because I'm not going to make your ass love me and you don't love me. I'm going to go through my damn heartbreak and my depression, wherever I got to put that debt. Because I feel like when you married that long as a debt, I'm going to go through my damn debt.
That's right.
Pray, meditate, do what I got to do to get over your ass, because I'm not begging no damn body to be with me.
I'm gonna tell you like my aunt told me. She said, if I'm not your priority, I will not be your option.
Come on now.
So, lady,
if
you're not his priority, don't be his option. If you're in a situation, he said he want to go,
let him get.
Because if you make him stay by saying I'm not going to do it, you know what you're going to end up creating? A situation that's toxic.
Very toxic, a doormat.
And now he's going to either abuse you emotionally, financially,
come on,
spiritually and
mentally. But here's the one thing that you're going to end up doing. You're going to find ways to cause pain to him. Because now you're saying you're here just because I made you, not because you wanted me.
That's
so
right.
now you're going to flip the script, and now you're going to become the terrorist in the relationship.
Come on, man.
So I would say, pack his bags, sign the papers, let him out.
If you think you hate your wife, then just wait till you hear what this guy did. Back in 1993, James was home alone and was having a great time since his wife had left for work. However, all of a sudden, she gave him a call and told him that she was coming back home. So James damaged the levee on the Mississippi River to delay his wife from coming home. This caused a massive flood and it destroyed so many homes that it required $10 billion to fix all the damages. James got a life sentence and his wife divorced him.
So here's the truth. Most men don't just wake up one day and hate their wives. It's a slow burn, built from years of silence, unmet needs, feeling disrespected, unheard, or unwanted. And here's what makes it worse. Society tells men to suck it up, to be providers, to not complain, to accept that marriage means giving up your peace for stability. But that silence, it turns into bitterness. And once a man starts to mentally check out of his marriage, emotionally or even physically, it's hard to bring him back. This isn't about bashing wives or defending men. This is about calling out the emotional disconnect that's killing relationships from the inside. If a man feels constantly criticized, dismissed, or like his presence doesn't matter, hate becomes a shield. Not because he stopped caring, but because caring started to hurt too much. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Conversations can fix what silence destroyed. Accountability on both sides can rebuild what resentment buried. And if you're brave enough to be honest about how marriage really feels sometimes, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around, because we don't do sugarcoating here. We talk real, we dig deep, and sometimes that's the only way to heal.